The sport I chose to research is the sport of lacrosse. I chose to research lacrosse because I didn't really know too much about it, but I know that it's a really well-known activity that a lot of people play. So I hope you enjoy. The history. Lacrosse is a well-known sport within North America. According to an article titled Historical Facts About Lacrosse, the author explains that lacrosse was a cultural sport. The sport helped men heal from war, prepare for war, and most even believe that the game was made for the enjoyment of the creator. The game is believed to be more than 300 years old and was played mostly by settlers from Europe and Native Americans. Today, lacrosse is common in upstate New York, Ontario, and can occasionally be found at some powwows. Here are the rules. Lacrosse has a very long set of rules that need to be followed in order to have a productive game. In addition, depending on the age, gender, and league of the game, the rules may differ. Below are the most basic rules. I did a lot of researching and trying to find the most consistent rules, and I condensed them as best that I could because there's a lot of rules. The first, number 1, 10 players are allowed on the field, 3 attackers, 3 middies, 3 defenders, and 1 goalie. 2, every goal made is equal to 1 point. There can be a maximum of 4 pulls on the field per team. A lacrosse ball may not be touched by a player's hand except by the goalie. To avoid an offside penalty, there must be 4 players behind the defensive area line when not in a man-down situation. No opposing players can make contact without the goalie or the goalie stick when the goalie is in the goal crease area. 7. Play is stopped immediately when the ball goes out of bounds. When a shot on goal goes out of bounds, the possession is awarded to the team of the player close to the location of the ball when it went out, similar to basketball when a ball gets thrown out of bounds. When the ball goes out of bounds for any reason other than a shot, the possession is awarded to the team that did not touch the ball last. That's just like basketball. Body checking is only allowed for older boys. At the 12U, 10U, and 8U levels, a player may not deliver a body check to an opponent. This is similar to hockey. Maybe not. I don't think body checking is ever allowed, but it's a similar concept that is found in hockey. Lacrosse penalties vary by age. Please check the rule books below for penalties by age. Some potential lacrosse penalties include cross checks, holding, illegal body checks, illegal screens, illegal sticks, etc. For additional penalties, you can just look that up on your own. According to U.S. Lacrosse, all players except the goalie must have a lacrosse helmet that meets the code, and they must have a helmet, a mouth protector, protective gloves, shoulder pads, athletic cleats, arm pads, a jersey and shorts, and a cup. Here's a picture of just some of the gear that they have to have. The official length of a lacrosse field for older boys is 110 to 120 yards max in length and about 53 1/3 and 60 yards in width. Here's just kind of like what a typical field would look like and how the players would be placed. Right here I provided 2 different videos for you. The first video is just a video of some highlights. I really encourage you to select and watch the videos. It just kind of shows how exciting the sport can be and kind of gives you really good insight on what you can expect at a typical lacrosse game. This video down here, this kind of is a quick tutorial on how to play lacrosse. It's basically going over the same stuff that I just read to you. So when you watch the video, it makes the sport make a lot more sense. These 2 videos were very helpful to me because I had no idea about anything about lacrosse other than just the basic things that I had heard about it. So here's my summary and some of my own thoughts that I came up with after completing the assignment. After completing the assignment, I've learned a lot about the sport lacrosse. I knew absolutely nothing about the sport until I began researching it. Originally, I thought that the sport was from France or somewhere in Europe. I was very wrong. I found it quite interesting that the sport was founded in North America and more than likely something that the settlers picked up from the Native Americans. After researching, I was not able to determine whether the settlers or natives founded the sport, which makes me believe it was probably something that the settlers learned from the Native Americans. Today, the sport is known to be a wealthier sport and not as common as many others. The sport requires a lot of equipment and is a combination of basketball, football, and hockey. I think that the sport seems very exciting. It also seems like a high contact sport, and the safety of the players could be in jeopardy often. I can see why the sport has managed to stay relevant for as long as it has.